Welcome, welcome, trivalent beings of spirit, mind, and body. Time for the Ask Doc Alkebulanese Solution Show, sponsored by Prometheus Reborn Universal Foundation, also known as Proof. Its mission is to spread the trivalent understanding noetics, featuring stand-up philosophy that includes anthropology, psychology, biology, metaphysics, medicine, psychodrama, comedy, and music through a genre called edutainment, educating while entertaining, coined by KRS-One. The host of this wonderful show is Dr. Y.O.U. Carlisle Woods, RN, MD, MED-D1, and myself, co-host, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods, MED, PhD, MED-D2.
Yes, I have the PH.
I have the M. We both have D's. That makes us Doc².
The title of today's show is The Grapes of Wrath, Part 2.
Before we get into The Grapes of Wrath, Part 2, the Hip Hop Trio Plus has got a new song that we started working on this past Tuesday. It may be the best song that we've ever done. I'm not going to tell you anything else about it. I'm going to just show it to you when we finish production.
Ashe.
Now, we went to Open Doors after
We'd like
school.
to see a picture of the Hip Hop Trio Plus.
Okay. Do we have a picture of the Hip Hop Trio Plus?
Highlight them.
Oh,
yes.
My goodness.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And that is Mick Beats on the end.
Right.
That's part of the plus.
The one that has the MI on his drum.
Yeah,
it has a C that got tore off, but that's Mick. And that is the world famous Hip Hop Trio.
And next to Mick is KK, and then next to her is Shelly K. Then of course the plus, Dr. Y.O.U. Carlisle Woods, and myself, Dr. Hamida Rockman Woods.
Absolutely. And now, since we have done the Hip Hop Trio Plus, and I've talked about the new songs that we're working on, I want to tell you about the Open Doors After School Academy's Clam Bake. Oh my God. We went to that this week. Our daughter is one of their, she's manager of promotions or something,
Marketing and promotions. Communication.
Right. Our daughter, Daia, is there. And
Director.
And our other youngest child, Jamila, volunteers and teaches dance. Okay, we're going to get more to the...
Actually, Jamila doesn't teach dance there. She's at a different facility
teaching
dance.
She's at a different facility teaching dance. Okay. We're going to bring them back into our show a little later on, but before we do that, we got exposed on this magnificent clam bake to a whole bunch of new children, Generation Z's. And it triggered both in me and my wife a kick back to a show that we did in May, called The Grapes of Wrath. So we're going to do part 2 of Grapes of Wrath with an emphasis on what we discovered at Open Door After School Academy. Now, Dr. Jean Twenge came up with an article and a book called Generations. And it was a book based on generational differences. That's Jean. Jean looks good. Okay. Jean looks really, really good. The book was first started in 2012. At least it started as research in that year because that year the CDC says it changed its laws measuring anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, self-harm, and they all seem to increase rather sharply. In 2011 to 2019, teen depression actually doubled. This coincides with the increase in smartphones and social media use among teens. This article by Dr. Twenge was also accompanied by an article by David Brooks in the New York Times. And his article in the New York Times reflected what she had said, but further said, our toxic culture is doing this to the young. Now, the members of Generation Z are now practicing slow life strategies with a vengeance. What I'm saying is that normally teenagers are trying to act like adults. They're trying to do the things that adults do. They're trying to date. They're trying to drink alcohol. They're trying to have sex. They're trying to be adults. Not this Generation Z. And they have primarily been poisoned by their adults' grapes of wrath. Now, grapes of wrath are the negative images of life and the fears of life that is placed into a child's mind by parents or parent surrogates. The parent or parent surrogate has experienced disappointment, rejection, and disabling influences, and they pass their experience with these things on to the children. And Gen Z has gotten enough of all of this grapes of wrath that its parents have been putting on it. They have already transformed adolescents. As high school seniors, they are less likely to do the things associated with adulthood and independence, like drinking alcohol, working for pay, or having sex. They just aren't.
And this is not just their parents, it's authority figures as well.
Parent surrogates or substitutes.
Okay.
Gen Zers grew up with hyper caution, a fear-based emotion that parenting exaggerated the dangers in life. The parents grew up in a different time and culture. These Gen Zs grew up in a media culture that generates ratings and clicks by generating differences between their reality and anger. They grew up in a political culture that magnifies a sense of menace that presumes that other people are toxic in order to tell simplistic us-them stories and mobilize an immature juvenile viewpoint about danger and fear. I discovered as a 5-year-old, I was 3, that one of the problems that I had was ignorance, and that ignorance led to fear. And specifically, I feared snakes and spiders until I got onto the bookmobile, got a book on snakes and spiders, and read information about them that chilled out my fears and told me through the information that I picked up that I had very, very little to worry about poisonous snakes or poisonous spiders. That information got rid of my fear. And it occurred to me then, fear is basically the product of ignorance. Ignorance and stupidity. Ignorance is not understanding. Stupidity is not wanting to understand. And we have equal quantities of both of those qualities in Gen Z's life. Now, I have told y'all a long time ago that using people's ignorance and fears as weapons was used throughout Western Europe for most of Western Europe's existence. This was something that the Roman Catholic Church used extensively, along with the results of fetal alcohol syndrome and fetal alcohol effects, which we talked about in our last 2 shows. Western Europeans have had endemic fetal alcohol syndrome and fetal alcohol effects for about 7 to 8 centuries. That's 7 to 800 years, where everybody in Europe was born by a mother who drank alcohol during the pregnancy. But everybody in Europe drank alcohol from the time they were weaned off their breast because of Europe's ignorance and stupidity as far as getting rid of their bodily waste. Feces and urine was poisoning their water supplies. So rightfully, they found out that drinking their water supplies would get you sick or kill you. So they started drinking alcohol. They started drinking alcohol again soon as they were weaned. Soon as a baby stopped sucking his mother's breast, they start feeding the child what's called small beer or small wine, which is wine or beer with extra water put in it. They figured out that this couldn't hurt the child and it would stop them from getting sick and dying, which a whole lot of them did from just drinking water. This combination led to all of the problems with decreased intelligence, decreased socializing ability, decreased ability to understand, listen, no reciprocal friendships with anybody. They lied, they cheated, they corrupted themselves and everybody else around them. This is what the research done 20 years ago shows is the result of fetal alcohol affected children growing up to be adults. This was who they were. But this was not news to Native Americans, Alkebulanese, or those in the Orient, China and Japan. No, they all knew that Western Europeans lied, cheated, stole, and did everything that almost every religion told you you should not indulge in. They did. People who grow up in this culture of distrust and fear are bound to adopt self-protective codes of behavior. They are bound to be pessimistic about life and are also less likely to believe that they can control their own destinies. And what you believe controls the reality you inhabit.
Shay.
You will notice only what you believe, no matter what is present in your environment. You're not going to notice all the good stuff happening. All you're going to notice is the stuff you're looking for, disabling influences, because that's what you have been told to watch out for.
Wow.
Yeah. They are breeding failure, disappointment, fear, hate, depression, and disability in their own young due to ignorance, stupidity, and a tribal history of hating/fearing others. This is the history of Western Europe. They feared and/hated Alkebulanese, Asians, anybody who wasn't Western European and a Roman Catholic. Anything that wasn't what the Roman Catholic Church told them to accept, they not only rejected and feared, they hated it and tried in many, many, many ways to destroy it. Okay, Gen Z doesn't feel like that. Gen Z loves others. Gen Z love other races, other cultures, other sexes, other everybody. Gen Z has been computer trained to accept just about everybody on this planet. total opposite of their parents. This is what the marriage/birth records tell us unmistakably, is that Gen Z has the highest rates of interracial sex, marriage, and offspring. For most of Generation Z, the worst thing they can ever be is their parents. Give you an example. Ron DeSantis' war against woke. He attacked a first-time teacher in Florida for showing the Disney movies Strange World. This is a Bernie Mattson illustrator/animator who spent 70 years at Disney. Since it showed the relationship between plants, minerals, energies, and people. That's what the movie was about. The teachers, fifth graders, loved it, but a student from a different class saw it, told his mother, who happens to be a school board member, about the film. Instantly, the teacher, Gina Barbie, was investigated by the Florida Department of Education. All of the students were questioned by investigators and now have a fear of cartoons that are supposed to educate. Are these students going to be as educated, as informed, or as knowledgeable as their contemporaries who haven't been affected like this? No, they will not, because they are being trained to reject education, to reject knowledge, to reject anything that enables them past what their parents have accepted. Their parents want to hold their children back and stop them from advancing like the rest of humanity. All the students were questioned by investigators and now have a fear of cartoons that's supposed to educate. When told why they were being questioned, isolated, and suspected of being harmed, they asked their teacher, before they investigated, before they guessed the children may have been harmed, how come they just didn't ask the children? How come they just didn't ask the children what they thought, what they felt the film had effects on them like, what they believed, and why? Because these people are ignorant enough not to understand that it is important to find out what someone believes, not what you are exposed to. This ignorance has led to centuries of stupidity, which is leading right now to their children having to deal with the grapes of wrath. The ignorance and stupidity they see being urged on them is not ignored by the children, and the limits they impose on those who follow their fears is very visible to all who look. But their parents are used to such ignorance and restrictions. Western European is used to rejecting knowledge, rejecting education, rejecting science, rejecting truth, rejecting history. They've been doing that again for 700 or 800 years. It is the legacy of Europe's ignorance propagated by the Roman Catholic Church, their fear and stupidity enforced by laws and rules against science, history, understanding, and knowledge. No Cuso.
Just want to give a shout out to Carla Kendall.
Carla!
Good evening to you as well.
They're
And
on
sending
y'all.
love. And
That's
also
KK.
to KK.
Right.
Love you too. Hey,
She
hey,
say
hey,
we looking
Dad.
good. Yeah, well, we trying to imitate y'all.
Yes,
That's all
yes.
we're doing. Hey, y'all. We love you, love you, love you. Absolutely. I ended up with Cuso. This fear, ignorance, and stupidity leads Gen Z to have less Cuso. And that is Kuso. That is how human beings enable themselves. That's how they go from one level of evolution to another. K-U-S-O. First, they know something. Knowing is emotional, spiritual. Happens in the limbic system, where this point and this point meet. And knowing, again, is emotional, spiritual. You have a feeling about what you know. That's often confused with understanding. That happens in a totally different part of your brain, the cerebral hemispheres, right inside the skull, those big wrinkly things that look like two big walnuts cut in half. In order to understand, you have to think about what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Again, knowing is emotional, spiritual. Understanding is intellectual. Knowing involves feelings. Understanding involves thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Knowing first, then understanding. Knowing and understanding now allows you to spread that knowing and understanding so that you can operate on that new basis of knowing and understanding.
Ashe.
Knowing, then understanding, then you spread that knowing and understanding so that you can operate. That's how humanity goes from one level to the next, to the next, to the next. Okay. But the one thing that's really kind of preventing that right now with Gen Z is the grapes of wrath that are being spread by people like,
The MAGA.
all the MAGA folks, and especially,
Republicans.
yeah, and especially Ron DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
He's against being woke when he and everybody else will tell you straight out they don't know what the hell woke is. They can't define it and have been attempting to define it for years now and have absolutely no understanding of what woke is. So you're fighting something you got no understanding of, huh? But it's strange to me that a word that means aware, conscious, alert, understanding, that's what woke means, is what Europeans are against. Imagine that. They've been against it for 700-800 years. Right now, in 2023, they are still against knowledge, understanding, science, history, you name it. But that's what brings these grapes of wrath that Gen Z is taking deep draughts of. So deep that they are trying to spit them out and not be influenced by their parents or parent substitute. They don't want to follow rules. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to do the things that rob them of what they see as the enabling information and context that life is about. The Hip Hop Trio Plus got a song that was written by Mississippi Charles Bevel. Mississippi wrote this song as not a seasons because human beings were the only beings on this planet that didn't have a mating season. Y'all know I'm right. You know it's true. Human beings will mate morning, noon, night, winter, summer, fall, anytime, anywhere. But he gave us permission to put a little twist in it and call it Grapes of Wrath because that's what it talks about. The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck was a book turned into a movie that expressed the disruptive, disabling energy that a people exude whose purpose has been, there it is, that's the movie that I saw when I was about 12. People whose purpose has been thwarted, whose reason for being has been disabled, they create this disabling, debilitating energy that Steinbeck called the grapes of wrath. We're going to sing this song for you right now, at least the hip hop trio, plus is going to attempt it. Listen to it, see if you like it.
Babies come into this world, not a season. Even if we don't, they know the reasons. And the one who sent them gives them gifts to care. Tells them, children, take your time, but do not tarry. You will all arrive but naked, endowed to make it. You should have everything you need when you get there. But you should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. You should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. Gods and babies, they don't know how we are divided. If they did to send them, never would have been decided. Red and brown, black and white, how we mock them. Rich and poor, high or low, is how we stop them. Why do we make those distinctions when we don't have an inkling of what each child will bring, how they'll share? We just take their gifts and crush like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. They should never have to eat the grapes of wrath. So we all get in line for a young one. Some will grab 10 or 12, some will get none. And the children chose by rich ones will be pampered, while the children left to poor ones will be hampered. Why do we act like such heathens when every known religion teaches us each and every child is in our care? But we just take their gifts and crush them like we don't care. Then we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath.
Yes, we send them out to harvest. Yes, we send them out to harvest.
Yes, we send them out to harvest the grapes of wrath. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yes, the grapes of wrath.
Okay. This is how Generation Z, the smartest generations of humans ever to exist, is being warped by their parents. The result? The Republican Party waste time, money, lives, and opportunity. We got a special guest, member of Global Entertainment, Global Records. He has been one of my best friends for about the last 15, 20 years. His name, forget. What we call him is OG Shankster.
All right.
Jeezy! Whoa.
I'm here. What's up, man?
Hey, my brother, I'm loving to hear you here.
And greetings to you as well, OG.
Hey. I was sitting back listening to Grapes of Wrath.
Uh-huh. What'd you think?
And I left my body and I just started seeing folks, and
I can imagine.
it was like I was floating. And I really do like that song. I really do like
I am glad you enjoy it. What did you think about the topic that we are smashing the next generation with those same Grapes of Wrath?
Well, yeah, I think it's needed, and I'm enjoying the whole show, man. I'm sitting here and I'm in awe over everything that I'm hearing, that you are continuing your journey.
Okay.
The both of you are continuing your journey, man. And it's just breathtaking to me.
Well, I
need it.
Okay. By all means, I am glad it is breathtaking. I, however, would like for you to use your breath to make comments during the show if you have any. Could you do that, please, my brother?
Yes, I will.
I would really appreciate you having breath enough just to do that.
I can do that.
That's a blessing.
I just didn't want to cut you off while you was, into what you
Yes, sir. Well, please don't cut me off while I'm into what I'm doing.
Right.
OG, do you have a question right now for anything?
Any questions?
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, well then let me do something else. It might give you some questions. Y'all might have not heard of John Durham's report. Anybody heard of that? John Durham?
No.
Oh, John Durham was the guy who was supposed to be investigating the Mueller report.
Oh, the guy who killed his wife and
No. The Mueller report was the report that was done on line 44.5 that shows the Russia. Russia had been, that's him, that's John Durham. All of the Republicans kept saying, wait till the Durham report comes out. Wait till the Durham report comes out. We're going to find out all about the Clinton campaign started this Russian propaganda, and Trump's innocent of all these charges that they having against him. Well, if Trump's innocent, why did Manafort, Flynn, Gates, Roger Stone, George Papadopoulos, and all of his other associates plead guilty to the crimes that they were accused of? Every one of them pled guilty and got sentenced to prison.
Wow.
Yes. How can their leader be innocent when they got sent to prison? Now, yes, indeed. The Durham report was supposed to give line 44.5 some reason to be presidential. But why were they waiting on this report? Was the origin of the Mueller report going to help assist or enable American citizens? Were they going to do anything that made America a better place? Nope, I don't think so at all. But in addition to that, John Durham's report took 4 years, cost more than $7 million that our government paid for information that helped no one, assisted no one, enabled no one, and all of the money and time
went to the people they hired.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Fox, all the MAGA people, and Line 44.5 all did big play. increase the confusion and decrease the understanding, which is their hallmark, but helped no one. They kept saying, just wait till the Dunham report comes out. Just wait till the Dunham report comes out. But the results of the Dunham report was that the FBI found no basis for Clinton starting any of this or anyone else. They fingered a probe of his Russian connections, and 24 Russians were indicted for crimes. I'm talking about 24, 24. They kept saying, wait on this thing to come out, and when it came out, they tried to act like it was invisible, like it never happened. They had some Italian government who got goods on line 44.5, the stuff that the Russians were doing with him. The Italian government had reported on it, but Durham didn't investigate this at all. Durham instead brought 2 different cases to court. He lost both of those cases. He had no recommendations, no convictions, no arrest. He wasted resources for politicization of government by people who don't think well. I've been saying that for the longest, and it's true. Pink people, let me say it again, pink people, they are not white, they are pink. Pink people generally do not think well.
I have a question.
Hold on one second, and I'm coming to your question.
All right.
They do not think well. Now, what I mean by that is they do not think effectively, because they've been taught to ignore science, history, math, and almost anything that allows you to think well. And they don't think about enabling beneficial things. They have been trained to think about fear. What's going to hurt you? What you got to look out for? You got to watch them other folks. They're going to be doing that. And listen to the MAGA party. They're talking about fear. They're talking about what to watch out for. They're doing the same stuff that Western Europeans have been doing for 700 to 800 years. Fetal alcohol syndrome. Russia has in the past and is now interfering in our politics. Pink people don't think well. And the majority of pink people, believe it or not, are very, very confused about Russia's influence on our country and its politicians right now. Mainly the MAGA party, it seeks to restrict our nation's functioning through ignorance, lies, and fear. We must not ignore it. We must abhor it. That means point it out and tell how it functions to restrict our ability. Absolutely. Now, my brother, your question, I hope you still remember it.
Yeah, I remember it.
Cool.
It seemed to me that Trump threw a lot of folks under the bus.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
The bus wheels are full right now. They rolling over bodies after
Folks
bodies
like,
after
well,
bodies.
They had his back. He threw everybody under the bus. Will line 45 get some time?
Oh, I will guarantee you 2 things. Number 1, he's not line 45. He's not a whole person, so he can't be a whole president. He was supposed to be the 45th president. Right. That's why I call him line 44.5. Oh, he's half a person. He's half a president.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
Line 44.5.
That's him.
Mm-hmm. Will he get some time?
I guarantee 3 things. Number 1, I guarantee he will be convicted of crime. Number 2, I guarantee he will get sentenced to time for the conviction of the crimes that he has committed. Last but not least, I guarantee there will be a new civil war. Now, I'm not talking about a shooting, blowing up kind of war. No. I'm talking about an intensification of the war that is going on right now between the Republican MAGA Party and the United States of America.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They have been trying to destroy all of the means by which the United States of America functions. They have been trying to attack the executive offices. They have been trying to attack the Department of Justice. They have been trying to attack the FBI. They have been trying to attack all of the borders. They have been trying to attack police. That's what they're doing now. They beat the hell out of police on January 6th. Yeah, they have attacked all of the stanchions that hold the United States of America together. That is going to increase after Line 44.5 gets convicted and sentenced to prison.
So he's going to be sitting in the cell next to R. Kelly.
I do not know whether that's going to occur because I do not know whether they're going to send him to prison. My problem is that
what I was about to say. He might be convicted,
Yeah.
but we don't know if he gonna actually.
Why? They sent Martha Stewart to jail. Why can't they send him to jail?
well, because Joey B is not for that.
They didn't send her to jail. They sent her to summer camp, man.
Well,
Jail,
it was both things.
Behind bars, she was in there
Well,
smoking weed in jail.
They're going to send a lot of the people he drugged from the swamp to support him
Yes.
to jail.
What about the general? You remember the one general?
Milley.
dude? Milley, right.
Right.
He actually he quit, right?
No, he retired.
I want to say retired.
He retired.
But he was
Big
like,
difference.
it was like he forced himself to retire.
Yes
He
and
wouldn't
no.
have to.
No. You got to understand. General Milley could have retired when Trump was in his next to the last year. He did not. He, along with several other people, said, we're going to stay here and watch this motherfucker and make sure he don't do some crazy shit. That's why he called his counterpart in China and said, don't worry about what this fool says. We're not going to attack you. That's why he carried on that type of thing, because that was why he didn't retire when he could have. He waited until Line 44.5 was gone and out of at least immediate danger, and then he retired. Let me tell you what else is going to happen. Next year, we're going to have an election in November that is going to destroy the Republican Party. The Republican Party will no longer exist after next November because they are going to get so torn down. Nobody is going to vote for them, period, except the crazy, and I mean insane, ignorant, and I mean totally and completely ignorant, and stupid people who support him. Now, quiet as it's kept, that's only about 20 some odd million people. We have a country of 350 million people. 20 some odd million people are going to go for him. Everybody else, 300 plus million, is going to vote for Joey B. And everybody else on the Democratic ticket. The Republicans will basically disappear next November.
So who was that lost the House? That lost his seat in Ohio Senate? Who was that?
An Ohio Senate, or you mean the
Senate House?
Right.
You mean the House of Representatives?
Right.
Yeah, House.
I saw that.
Okay, you talking about McCarthy?
Was that him? He said he's going to do everything he can in his power to fight for his seat.
Okay, that ain't McCarthy. McCarthy was the leader. He was the Speaker of the House.
Right.
And they threw him out of the Speaker seat and first tried to put in the guy from Louisiana who was a KKKer.
Right.
And he just couldn't get the votes. And then they got the fool from Ohio.
Jim Jordan.
Jim Jones.
That's
Jordan. That's right. Jim Jordan. He's running for it now. He's not going to make it either. It's really, really
he's gonna
strange.
fight for that seat.
Oh, listen.
Hold on.
Love this.
Hold on. Jim Jordan was a wrestling coach at Ohio State in Columbus. 11 wrestlers say that they were being sexually abused, by the team doctor. And they came to
Beautiful.
Jim Jordan and told him that they was being sexually abused, and he spoke not a word
Beautiful.
about their sexual abuse. Now, hold on. This man was told, according to the wrestlers, about sexual abuse, and he spoke not a word. Now he wants to be what? Speaker
the House.
of the House.
Wow.
You didn't speak about the wrestlers being abused, but yet you want to speak for the nation, you fool, fool.
He must be on dope or dog food.
One of the two, man.
Well, Jeffries, you're going to talk about Jeffries, right? The vote they took, and Jeffries, what was his first?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm talking about Jeffries. The Democratic whip of the House, he got 212 votes. He got more
than anybody.
More than anybody.
To be the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, I think all he needs is like 218 or something like that. If he'd have got 6 more from Republicans, he would be the Speaker.
So everyone, imagine Jim
Jeffries
being Speaker of the House.
Yes, visualize that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I need to go on to the end of my show because I got 2 things I have to do. We talked about the Open Door After School
Academy.
I'm sorry, Open Door Academy After School program. Clam bake. I had a magnificent, wonderful time there. Sal Russo. Sal Russo and his wife.
Lisa.
We were sitting at the table with them. Those were the parents of the director of the Open Door Academy. You heard of Judge Russo on the court downtown? Yeah, that's his parents.
Actually, she's the CEO of the Open Doors After School Academy.
Absolutely. We sat down with them and had just the most wonderful time.
Oh, yes.
It turns out that me and Sal both make wines, and we're exchanging each of our wines with each other this week. We're going to be doing some stuff.
Yes.
They sent us a letter that I would like my wife to read part of. Please go right ahead, sweetheart.
All right. Dear Dr. Larry C., on behalf of the entire... my phone just now went out. I'm going to see if I can get it back.
Okay.
Wonderful. On behalf of the entire Open Doors Academy team, I extend our deepest gratitude for joining us at our annual benefit clam bake. Your attendance helped make the evening special, and your support directly contributed to our mission to protect, inspire, nurture, and challenge youth to reach their full potential. It was my first ODA clam bake, and I was struck by the strength of our support and the depth of the community's connections. With the funds raised, we can continue to make a tangible difference in the lives of our scholars and their families. For all of this, I am deeply grateful.
Grateful. Wow. Now that's what they said, at least portion of what they said to us. This is what I said to them. I love the clam bake, but I love your letter even more when you discuss your mission is to protect, inspire, nurture, and challenge youth to reach their full potential. If that be truth, I offer you means and methods to effectively do that by presenting the next stage in the evolutionary development of mankind. It is called the Trivalent Understanding Noetics, TUN. And it's part of Dan Brown, that's a writer who wrote the Da Vinci Code and the Law Symbol, etc., new book. But why should you believe I can introduce and explain the next evolutionary stage of man? Well, Joe, I'm strange. And if God ever wanted to punish me, he/she would make me normal, average, regular, or any of those things I have never been. I would refer you to a May the 11th, 2003, what's that song playing? 2003 article in the Cleveland Plain Dealer that discussed me being featured in a new Cleveland Metropolitan School District program called E=MC², a formula that introduced the atomic era to mankind. Since then, I have been selected to introduce to Cleveland for the very first time at Tri-C campus this lawyer from Illinois who wanted to be president. His name was Barack Obama. I am the same doctor that was nominated for the X Prize for Innovation. That's a $10 million prize given in innovation for creating the Trivalent Understanding Noetics. And as a result of that, was invited to the United Nations Incentive to Innovation Conference at UN headquarters in New York. That was the same doctor who, along with his present wife, became personal development coordinators for Coach Sam Ritigliano's, that's the ex-head coach of the Cleveland Browns, after school aiming higher program. We could go on, but I would rather change how you operate from your head to your toes in 133 seconds. I told this to the general manager of the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016, who responded, "That's kind of grandiose, Doc." Then 10 minutes later, he and his assistants were exclaiming, "This is impossible. You can't do this, Doc," when it's obvious that I could and did. "Please, sir, give me 20 minutes to change your life, or 45 minutes to do the same for your staff, or an hour to introduce your whole school to the next phase of evolution of the human species, the trivalent understanding noetics. May the Most High bless you and the ancestors protect you. Peace. Proper education always corrects error." That's going to be mailed tomorrow, and we will let you know about our follow-up in taking Open Doors Academy and putting it on the path to enabled being, the trivalent understanding noetics. We got any callers for questions? We got no questions? I want to do one more song then and give people a time to a question. I have been telling you for the last hour just about the grapes of wrath and how those things are not just affecting our future, but are affecting our present right now. Because regardless of all the lies and half-truths and just downright stupidity that we're being assailed with every day, we have to deal effectively with this because this is the world that we live in. And the Hip Hope Trio Plus, oh yeah, we got a song all about that that goes a little something like this.
This is the world we live in. You can choose to transcend. This is the world we live in. You can choose to transcend. This is the world we live in. You can choose to transcend. Life has a purpose before we even came to existence. Everybody had a mission that we said we had to do. Beg the Most High to come back so that we can serve and fulfill what we said we here to do. But no, life isn't easy like that. We came into this world with a bunch of challenges, but luckily enough, the Most High got us blessed, giving us a grace that we naturally possess. So why do we sit around acting like we don't? Got so many gifts that we naturally own. We get here for greater things, we can feel it in the soul. Gotta go deep, gotta search the unknown. This is the world we live in. You can choose to transcend. This is the world we live in. You can choose to transcend. Talk to obey, give him paths to follow, not based on you. It's all kind of hollow. Your own understanding is best for your being. It's all about knowing. It's all about seeing that you. God sees the best. You believe it's all in your hands. Don't be deceived.
Well, I got a few questions, cause I really get guessing. What would you do if you really knew you? We're on a mission.
Teaching you to listen. Make images of what you hear.
Listening to spirit.
Not mind. It hears it. Forgot what I feel. Not near.
To the power of you release.
This is the world we live in. You can choose to transcend. This is the world we live in. You can choose to transcend. You can choose.
with faith, with gratitude, with appreciation. It also helps if you understand the trivalent understanding noetics. You will be able to transcend this world with its grapes of wrath, its disabling frequencies, and all of the problems.
Yes,
that
the
it
the
gives us.
twins, Matt and Artist, greetings to you all
Yes,
as well.
indeed. Oh
Hello
my
to you
God,
as
them's the
well.
boys. Them's my boys, y'all. I love them, and they're gonna be working on some more cartoons for our
Yes.
songs and stuff coming up next month. Now, hold on. I forgot to tell you, we're gonna be gone from January the 2nd until January the 17th. We will be out of town, out of the country, out of this hemisphere. We're going to be going to Ghana. There was also something about, we might be ending up in Heathrow in London. And where was the other place? Morocco? Where Morocco? It was.
For whatever reason, it's not coming to me now.
Okay.
Starts with a B.
It's in Europe.
Brussels.
Brussels. That's it, baby. Brussels. That's the thing. We will be gone. We will be teaching. We will be doing some other things. And I'm supposed to be offered a chieftainship in Ghana.
Wow.
That's going to be January 2nd to the 17th. We will not have any shows those weeks from here.
Hey, Doc.
Yes, sir.
I got a question.
Please question me, my brother.
When it comes to the grapes of wrath and what the parents hand down to the children, all the negative energy, the doubts, the fears, the anxieties, how do the two-part question, how do we break that cycle when it comes to those parents? And even if the parents aren't able to break that cycle, how can the children do anything to break that cycle?
Good question. Excellent, excellent question. Let me give you two different answers. Number one, parents have to get over their own ignorance and stupidity. Parents do not know that they are ignorant and stupid. I have talked to so many pink people who told me stuff that was just ridiculously ignorant and ridiculously stupid. And they think it's normal. But that's what they have been dealing with for, again, 700 to 800 years. We think it's crazy. They don't. They think it's normal to have a leader like Line 44.5 who lies and cheats and steals and is ignorant as hell, has no understanding of anything that is logical or reasonable. That's what they're used to being led by. We are not. Parents need to get rid of their own ignorance and stupidity. Then they can help with their children. Parents, it would also be nice for them to lose the fear that they keep trying to put into their children. They have fear because they are ignorant. Once you have an understanding about anything that you fear, your fear goes,
With practice.
Well, no, with understanding.
Yeah, with practice understanding, yes.
That's number one. Parents need to quit putting their fears in their children, because the world that they grew up in, their children won't ever see. This is a totally different reality, especially since we've gotten online and with computers. This is nothing like the world their parents knew. That's number one. Number two, believe it or not, Generation Z is doing exactly what they need to do. They're ignoring their parents. They are ignoring their parents. Unfortunately, they are also ignoring many other role models because they're putting them in the same category as their parents. They're ignoring pastors, they're ignoring teachers, they're ignoring police, they're ignoring anybody who has authority, who, like their parents, who is telling them to not do something. Unfortunately, this is where Generation Z is. And they're having a rather difficult time choosing someone to follow for information and enabling conversation. That's why most of the people that listen to my program are under 25. All the people that we have shouted out to here tonight are under 25 except one, Carla. She's the only one who's above 25. Everybody else is under 25. And that's generally who listens to me. That's why we came up talking about Open Door Academy. I got about 300 or 400 children there that are going to be listening to the Trivalent Understanding Noetics.
And fortunately, we were coordinators for Coach Sam Ritagliano's Amy Hire after school program. And so they are amongst those who have listened to us.
Yes.
Former coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Thank you.
Former head coach of the Cleveland Browns. We were their personal development coordinators, and they are still using the curriculum we created for them that is basically the Trivalent Understanding Noetics.
Yeah. Mentioning the Browns, give a shout out to OG Shankster since he joined us.
Yeah.
Walk 'em like a dog.
Walk 'em like a dog.
Yes.
Walk 'em like a dog. Walk 'em like a dog. Walk 'em like a dog.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. I do.
Hey, Doc.
Yes.
Well, when you say ignorant, it's not just pink people that's ignorant or so-called Europeans now.
That's
what about
true.
What about the other people that's ignorant?
Okay, let me.
There's all type of people that's ignorant.
Yes and no. Yes and no, my brother. Two things. I wrote a book many years ago called The Blessings of Slavery. One of the blessings of slavery was the fact that we got all sorts of information that pink people never got. They had access to it, they never accepted it. And because they never accepted it, they didn't believe it. Now, most of us are not as ignorant as pink people simply because we've been watching pink people all our lives screw up. But, and this is a big but, this is a Bertha but, if you end up following pink people's culture, their training system that they call education, it is not education, it is training. And if you are looking to get into politics or something like that, you're going to have to accept a whole bunch of pink cultural attitudes. And again, they are formed primarily around ignorance and stupidity. Not understanding history, science, or something else, that is ignorance. Not wanting to understand it, go take a look at, here's the guy, Ron DeSantis.
Most
a
of
very
us,
ignorant person.
I'm jumping in there just to say most of us are woke.
Yes. The major reason woke is because of us.
We're the ones speaking against and protesting against what's wrong, looking for civil rights for everyone.
Mick, it is hard to understand, but around 1790 something, our ancestors started talking to pink people about slavery. And the more they talked to them about slavery, the more pink people started rejecting slavery. They talked to more and more pink people into the early 1800s. So by the time 1825, 1830 came around, there were about 25, 30 million pink people who were against slavery. Primarily taught that to be against it by Alkebulanese, like Frederick Douglass and what's the girl's name?
You talking about Angela Davis?
Not Angela Davis. This is.
Oh, you said Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, Frederick
you must
Douglass.
be talking about. They call her Moses.
Yes.
Yes, Harriet
Tubman.
Yes.
People like that talking against slavery
Yes.
made pink people's ignorance fall away and led to the Civil War. We have been teaching pink people our understandings ever since we got here. And that is what I believe is the purpose for our ancestors becoming slaves. So that the Most High, God, could do what God has been trying to do ever since human beings were first created on this planet, which was to blend all the human races into a hybrid, a mixture of all the different races of mankind, because scientifically that hybrid is better than any of the separate individual characteristics of any one particular race. Now, does any of that make sense, Mick?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Good, because that's the reality that I know, understand, and teach. Because it is the history, the anthropology, the biology, the science, the genetics, all of the stuff that I've studied. And again, one of the major reasons the Roman Catholic Church did not want Western Europeans to learn all these things is that you would reject all the stuff that the Roman Catholic Church was teaching. Because it made no sense. It was illogical, unreasonable, unscientific, and stupid.
Doc, I know we got to get out of here. Before we do, OG, you got any other questions, anything you want to say before we get out?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Comment.
If you do.
The comment I do have is to everybody to please tune in to Ask Doc. This is a great show. It's well needed. I'm really enjoying this show. Actually being here.
Hot dog.
And enjoying myself on the show.
Thank you.
That is a blessing.
Yeah.
So everybody listen, please like, subscribe, and share.
Share.
If you really enjoy this show and you want to see it expand and grow and people to get that knowledge and wisdom that's going to unveil the veil of ignorance that has caused all the grapes of wrath upon the youth.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, indeed.
Share this show.
Share the show. And till then, till next week when we come back and give you a little bit more, we're both are going to say to you, peace. Mick, can we get a 2-screen shot? Thank you so very much. There you go. Peace. Which everybody knows stands for proper education. Always corrects error. Peace out, y'all. Oh, you made it to the end of the video. Well, I am tired a little bit differently. I'm dressed as Baba Amwa. If you would like more of your own understanding, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
And go to the sites that we have listed around us. The Most High is good.
And the ancestors are kind.
Thanks
for having us on your minds.
Peace.